Welcome, everybody. The HC6 Grand Finals. At long last, it is finally time to get us underway with the last match of this tournament. It is a very hyped matchup today. We've got Team Reginald versus Team Pawn for all the marbles. Winner of this one is the winner of the whole darn thing. And we are getting underway very quickly here after sitting around waiting in the lobby for a few minutes with our band phase. We've got Team Reginald with the first ban. We'll have Team Pawn with the first pick. Come on to DT3, first couple of bans coming in. Overtime, Reginald doesn't want to let worst HR player do what he did last week again. Pawn maybe a little afraid of some high speed, high BPM tech DT. Banning out DT3. We'll go into the second bans from the teams momentarily. Do you want to introduce the teams though, of course? Well, I will in a second. It's Nomad 3 is the second ban from Reginald, so that's, of course, Shy Toy Soldier. Reginald saying, listen, One Dance may have dared worst HR player to beat them by himself. We're not going to go that route. We're going to get rid of the two maps that he went the most absurd on that we don't feel like we can maybe match. And Pawn with a second DT ban. It's Blimp. We won't get to see that map at all. It's going to be Pawn first pick here in just a moment. Anyway, introducing the teams. Reginald, coming from the winner's bracket side, captained by Rectagon, alongside Badu, Bashiman, Reedcat, Ryuke Arnold, Intercambing, Malashevsky, and Sawada. On captained by Taquito, joined by Chemotherapy, Henry, Majora, Milo Milkshake, Red Pixel, Kolabed, aka Rimuru, worst HR player, and Zoomer. And we're going to get this match started here with a bang. It's going to be level down. Nomad 5. The first pick from Team Pawn. Anybody who watched last week or watched highlights might have an idea of what we could be in for, what we could have in store. We look to get things underway. Or it's best of 15 here today in this match. If Reginald wins the first set, the whole tournament is over. They are the champions. If Pawn wins the first set, we go on to a bracket reset right thereafter. So we could be here for quite some time. We've seen Hippo Cup Grand Finals in the past go to the 3+ hour long mark. And this is a match where you could potentially see that happen. These are two very evenly matched teams. I think the big question today, of course, is going to be the matchup between Malashevsky and worst HR player. Worst HR player plays the way he did last week, and Reginald doesn't have the answers for them. It could be in for a tough fight, despite being from the winner's side. But if worst HR player's level drops a little bit, then Reginald could potentially run away with this the way they've run away with a lot of their matches in this tournament. Their closest matches being a couple where they dropped 3 points against this same Pawn team in the semifinals and against One Dance in the winner's final. Neither of these teams, have really been challenged outside of against each other. Pawn's loss to Reginald led to a couple of, an 8-0 win in losers round 7, another 8-0 win in losers round 8. So, losers final was a sweep. We'll seek to maybe avoid that and have something a little more competitive here today. We're going to get it started right now. It is level down, Nomad 5, first picked by Team Pawn. Bashiman, Badu, Arnold, and Ristel Malashevsky. Against Taquito, Chemotherapy, worst HR player, and Henry. We're watching worst HR player once again after seeing what he was capable of last week. It's going to be very interesting to see if he can pull off that same sort of performance once again. But now with the likes of Malashevsky on the other side, who will maybe make things just a little bit tougher. These teams likely to be a little more evenly matched, but we'll see what happens as we get underway here. Things start to get real pretty quickly. It's Bashiman with the first break on the hidden for Reginald. And Pawn will take an early lead. And once again, first HR player, comfortable, holding just fine alongside the rest of his team. There are many FCs left This is not how this went last time, where it was literally only worst HR player and Henry by this point in the map. This time, some more combo being held across the board. But there go Arnold and Taquito. Trade of breaks. Badu and Malashevsky still holding. But there goes Malashevsky, and that's probably just going to settle it already. You've got worst HR player still holding on to the FC. You've got Henry and Chemotherapy both holding on to theirs as well. And man, oh man, it looks like worst HR player might be picking up right where he left off last week. Dropped on the last difficult pattern of this map the first time he played it, looking to perhaps fix that error and maybe pull off an FC this go-around. As he and Henry once again look to put on a carry performance for the ages to make this match go in favor of Team Pon. Henry breaking near the end, and worst HR player is going to open things up in style. It's a 99.5 vac full combo. In case you wondered what this match might have in store for us, I think we are finding out quickly as worst HR player opens up with an FC on map number 1. And Pon take the 1-0 lead on their first pick of the match. Well done to them. That is how you start off a grand finals right there. Gonna be first pick coming up to Reginald. And they're gonna go Hard Rock too. Those of us who like faster matches were hoping to see this Hard Rock pool maybe avoided a little bit. But Reginald's gonna jump right into it. We're gonna go high BPM, Hard Rock, kick slider tech. And I think this might be a pretty good avenue for Team Reginald in this match. With the double DT bands coming out from Pon, so you gotta think Reginald is probably gonna want their fair share of speed. I forgot Ryuke changed his name again. So this is going to be a new one. We didn't get to see, I don't believe, any Hard Rock last week in the losers bracket final. So this will be opening that pool up pretty early in this match. And a team that has some very solid Hard Rock players, some very solid hidden Hard Rock players as well. Looks like we're going to see Rectagon, Ryuke, Intercambing, and Malashevsky for the side of Reginald. Taquito, Zoomer, worst HR player, and Henry. Over on the side of Pon, see if Reginald can open things up as comfortably as Pon did on their own first pick here. Tournament client. These function. Thank you. So you got Ryuke and Malashevsky on the hiddens for Reginald. Taquito and Henry on the hiddens for Pon. Hard Rock on all 8 players. And away we go with map number 2. Reginald looking for that early quick 1-1. Worst HR player is just aiming the slider ticks. That's kind of satisfying to watch. This is a map that really doesn't let up very often. Gotta be on your toes. Rectagon, Taquito, and Zoomer, all with some early misses, and into the kick slider jumps we go. Ryuke and Camming both fall. Zoomer, Rectagon as well. So it's Malashevsky versus worst HR player. That's the matchup we wanted to see in this match. And it's a matchup that's going the way of worst HR player to start things off as he takes the early advantage while Malashevsky breaks. Into the streams we go. Very tricky flow aim. Ryuke holds through, as do Taquito, worst HR player, and Malashevsky, but the advantage is to Pon. See how long worst HR player can hang on to the FC. Man, he is on one once again today, it looks like. The only combo left in the lobby. Worst HR player, pool. Worst HR player putting on a show for us here in the first couple of picks. Just a quarter of the way through, though. This map is incredibly long, and it's only a couple million-point lead for Team Pawn. But we're State Sharp Player with a 600 combo, and nobody even close to answering it means that they'll be able to extend this lead out through this easier section. This should feel like a little bit easier of combo, but there are breaks coming in from Zoomer, Unri, Taquito, and Intercambing. So it might help out Reginald a little bit, but Rectagon the next to miss. They're gonna need a break from Worst State Char Player. Stop me if you've heard that one before. And he just does not appear interested in missing today. UK and Malashevsky are both building back up, but that lead is 4 million points, so they're gonna need a little bit of help. They're gonna need Worst State Char Player to break eventually. Surely this is not a map that he's gonna just drop another FC on. Oh, that's a lot of hundreds, but he holds into the big sliders. He's gonna hold, who's gonna break? Worst State Char Player holds. Pretty comfortable position for Pawn to be in. Taquito falls on the buzz slider. But still, it just isn't going to matter. As long as Worst State Char Player is holding. And there go Malashevsky and Rectagon. That's really bad for Reginald. They've got the combo on Ryuken on Intercambing, but those are both gone now too, and this is just probably over. Worst State Char Player finally does break his full combo, but Zoomer held through and has about a 650 combo. Worst State Char Player putting the work in, though. 13 million score just from him alone. And fortunately for Pawn, not a lot of combo on the other side. Pawn very fortunate that Reginald all broke before the breaks came in. And Zoomer also fortunate that Zoomer is still holding on. This is looking like it might end up being an early break point here. Reginald have not been really put on the defensive this entire tournament. Dropping an early break point here would do that to them. You do expect big things out of Pawn, though, so they can't be shocked to see what's going on the other side of the screen. Zoomer putting on a clinic now in this back half of this map. Has picked up right where Worst State Char Player left off. Does break on the space stream, but Worst State Char Player holds. And with the 8 million point lead, gonna feel maybe safe. We'll see, though. We've got Ryuken and Rectagon holding through the spaced patterns. There's a little bit of time here left at the end, but I don't know if it's enough to bring back 6 million points. And there goes Ryuken as well. That's looking like this is gonna be that break point. Rectagon, by the way, finally does break. Just in case this was getting a little too interesting. It won't any longer. As Henry holds through this ending somehow. Finally, a break from him. And that is gonna do it. Into the outro we go. It's gonna be point to Pawn. It's gonna be break point to Pawn. It's gonna be 2-0 to Pawn. Coming out of the losers bracket, knowing they have an uphill battle ahead of them, they start things off on the right foot with a 2-0 lead and an early break point against a team, Reginald, that has looked nearly unbeatable so far. On maybe finding a crack in the armor. Reginald drops their first pick of this match. Goes back over to Pawn, and they've got plenty of options, of course, for what they want to pick second to try to convert and consolidate on that break point. Char Player ending with the B rank, as did Zoomer, but they had the best 2 scorers on their team. Accuracy is a social construct, and yeah, Ryuken and Rectagon with 12 misses combined just didn't end up mattering. So we go second pick Pawn. It's of course going to be a quick no mod 6. No surprise there. It was their final pick of the match last week. In that losers final, it was a Worst State Char Player 1v4, if memory serves. FC at the very least. And, you know, on a pool like this, you can double ban Worst State Char Player, and there's still just a billion Worst State Char Player maps because this pool is so big. And because it's fairly gimmicky and very, very difficult. And I really feel that if they have the picks available to them, Reginald are going to have to go just raw speed and raw stamina as much as possible, because those are the picks that kind of take worst HR player out of the equation. You know, if they have the players to go into something like a DT1, DT2, OMOD 2 even, I might be looking that way if I were Reginald, just to get away from worst HR player. And to put maybe some picks in that Malashevsky can dominate on, but worst HR player isn't going to be playing. We're going to go Nomad 6. We're going to see this once again, as we did last week. First HR player had the A rank FC last week, 90 AC in what ended up being a 1v4 by 13 million points. But perhaps Reginald a little better prepared for Explorer 1 than One Dance was. Rectagon, Badu, Arnold, and Malashevsky. Taquito, Red Pixel, worst HR player. Henry, as Pawn look to consolidate the early break point. Take a quick 3-0 lead. Malashevsky finding an early break. Maybe this is what maybe Pawn knew something we didn't. The Malashevsky maps in this pool maybe aren't the worst HR player maps, but it is still an early lead to Reginald. Arnold, Badu, and Rectagon were holding just a little bit longer than the opposition. It's worst HR player and Henry now versus Rectagon and Badu. Very scary sort of 2v2 to be going on in this map. That score lead will go back over to Pawn. And now it's just expectations. We've set a level of play to be expected out of worst HR player, out of Henry, from that match last week. It's going to be a matter of living up to it and hoping that Reginald can't outdo it. But there goes Henry. Meanwhile, Badu and Rectagon are still holding. Accuracy be damned. The FCs are still intact, and Malashevsky has also recovered his combo fairly well, up at 400 now. Worst HR player can only do so much by himself without a whole lot of backing help against a double opposing FC plus Malashevsky backing them up. This is what we expected out of Reginald. This is the kind of performance that team is capable of, to actually say, no, we can match you on this. We don't care what worst HR player does, because we have our own worst HR player on our side as well. And we have two of them, in fact, for this pick. And there goes worst HR player breaking. And that means Reginald is almost now guaranteed to be able to take this point and get the break point right back. Rectagon still holding the FC after Badu breaks. Malashevsky holding a large combo with hidden. Very impressive stuff from him. And it's a 14 million point lead. Worst HR player, not the most pleased, but, you know, if it makes him feel any better, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't, I mean, I know that doesn't actually help, but it doesn't actually matter. Rectagon still in the FC, matching the accuracy of worst HR player. Malashevsky only a couple hundred combo behind after the early miss at the very start. Rectagon does eventually break, but Malashevsky's still holding on, and the lead is 20 million points. And that is going to be first point going on the board for Team Reginald. They do not allow Pawn to consolidate the break point. And they take this one in style. That is a really good hidden score from Malashevsky, by the way. That is a really good hidden score. It is a reverse choke in the first 200 combo, hits the entire rest of the map, and helps lead his team alongside all three other members to a breakpoint right back. 2-1 the lead for Pawn, but Reginald the next to pick. Wow, that was a concern, you know? Worst HR player set a really high standard for himself last week, and it's very difficult to live up to. And the problem is, he has to live up to it, because Reginald is an extremely strong team. They have their own version of worst HR player in Malashevsky, not to mention Rectagon and Badu, not to mention Arnold, in as a little bit of a hidden fill. Unfortunately, that score not the greatest, but it did its job. There wasn't anybody to match worst HR player from One Dance last week. And with Reginald, it's a little different story. That is just a stupid team score. 54 million. Last week, Pawn put up 46 million with an FC. This week, Reginald putting up 54 million without an FC. And they're just gonna stay in the Hard Rock pool. They're taking worst HR player as a literal name, which I don't know if that's necessarily so true. But we're gonna go Hard Rock 1, which is 5 minutes long. This makes me sad. Their first 2 picks are literally almost 10 minutes long, just between the 2 of them. But this is Astra Walkthrough. It's an Arley's map, because of course it is. I have a really silly question. This isn't related to anything in particular, but does anybody know why Habib used the Air 9.5 diff of this when it's Hard Rock anyway? Like, you could just use the regular diff. It'd be the exact same thing. The only difference is AR 9.5 versus AR 10. And since it's Hard Rock, it's literally irrelevant. If anybody can tell me why that was done. But yeah, this is literally 9-star aim at 225 BPM for 5 straight minutes. So I hope everybody's prepared. This was one of the maps that I had a hard time actually sitting through when I was trying to look at the pool because it just never ends. The song is a banger, though. Hope all the players are ready to aim, because they're going to be doing quite a bit of aiming. So in we go. Rektagon, Malashevsky, Ryuke, Reedcat. The rarely seen Reedcat. He has not been in for many maps in this tournament, but here he is. Taquito, Milo Milkshake, worst HR player, and Enri. 9-star map in tournament. Who is prepared? Well, nobody. Malashevsky and Milo Milkshake are prepared. Who has the best aim in this lobby? Rektagon and Malashevsky, probably. Interestingly, worst HR player is actually in for this. I mean, I don't know who you would put in that was better than him, but I feel like raw mechanics not the skill set normally associated with him, so we'll watch to see how he does. And yeah, Malashevsky doing Malashevsky things. You know, these two teams are kind of defined by one player on either side. Malashevsky and worst HR player, who both break on air as I'm talking about them. But really, you know, you're Reginald, you pick maps and you say Malashevsky, go kill. Pawn, you pick maps and you say worst HR player, go kill. But currently, it's just Pawn as a team in the early stages of this pick. Taquito, Milo, and Enri all holding against really no combo for Reginald, so it is a bit of an advantage their way. Goes down to just Taquito. He breaks on that burst, so now it's basically a full combo reset. The only combo in the lobby is Reedcat at 190. That's what happens when you have a 9-star Hard Rock 1. It is quite difficult to hold combo. Reedcat, though, putting in the work here to try to drag this score back over to Reginald. That combo very important, and he over-aims, I think. It looked like he aimed past that circle. So that's a reset for him. Worst HR player now, the max combo in the lobby at 270. He breaks 2. Yep. Map is quite hard. And now it's dead even because there is no combo anywhere. Malashevsky at 170 is in fact the highest combo anywhere. And it's actually key because he might be able to bring this back. No, the break. But it's going to stay close. Rektagon now. Taking up the mantle, 190 combo of his own, trying to bring back about a 300k lead for Pawn if he can just keep holding his combo through some more massive jumps. Can he do it? Yes, he can. No, he can't. There it goes. And once again, no combo anywhere in the lobby. It's a 100k score gap. Very, very closely fought battle here because it is so hard to get much score at all. You look around the lobby and you try to see who has a combo to talk about, and there's just nobody. So you know, we wait and we find out who can maybe hit one of these ridiculous patterns. The answer seems to be maybe Taquito. About a 150 combo for him. There he goes. Rectagon now 130. 200k, 100k. Okay, it's Rectagon. Maybe able to bring this back over. Reginald hasn't held a lead in this map, and that is it's gonna change as Malashevsky holds just long enough to take the lead over to their side. As we reach the 2/3 mark, 1/3 of the map still to go. And Malashevsky now giving them a little bit of an advantage. The only player able to hold through this section. 250 combo is actually really impressive right now when you consider what's going on. It's literally just full screen jumps and big space bursts that everyone is breaking on nonstop. And now it goes over to Rectagon at 200 combo himself, also doing quite well. Never thought I'd see the day where I'd be hyping up a 200, like a 150 combo, but you know, that's Hippo Cup Grand Finals for you. And the lead is now 1,000,000 points for Reginald, and honestly, that may well just be enough. That could just be all it takes. Also, shoutouts to Rectagon. He must have a pretty good miscount, 97 AC, when most of what you're dropping in AC is due to misses rather than due to actually, you know, like hitting 100s, it seems, from what we're seeing around the lobby. Rectagon and Malashevsky both on some combo into this ending. Worst HR player Taquito and Henry are kind of matching them, though. This could get a little scary. How's this pick up again? There goes worst HR players. Doesn't really matter if it picks up again or not as of yet. But that lead is only 800k. This is still devilishly close. This is scary close. This is frighteningly close. But there goes Henry and Taquito, and now it's not going to be close anymore. As we go into the ending, it's going to be very difficult again, but now it's Reedcat on a 200+ combo just to bring the train into the station. Looks like Reginald will put a second point up on the board and tie things up at 2 apiece. No one player carrying on this one. You've got 5.4 million exactly for both Rectagon and Malashevsky. 3.2 million, 2 million on Reedcat and Ryuke. That will do it. It's just shy of a 2 million point victory at the end for Reginald, but it was certainly close the whole way through. And yeah, just that little bit of better aim. 22 misses for Rectagon, by the way. That is absurd. That is such a nuts miscount. I mentioned his AC was probably good because his miscount was good due to the style of map this was, and I am glad to be proven right on that one. 22 misses, about half of the next best at 42 from Malashevsky. And now we're just back on level footing, 2-2 here in this best of 15. We got a long way to go. This one looks like it might just be a battle. Now I've got to figure we go another worst HR player map. It's gonna be Fremont 4. So I guess we're just picking all the long maps today. Fremont 4 is another one that we didn't see at all last week. It was not picked or banned. But it's by DJ Sharpnel. And this is actually a reading map. It's AR9 to, excuse me, AR9, it's only 193 BPM. It's like kind of a reading map. I mean, it's also aim and some weird sort of tapping and stuff, but I mean, it's kind of a reading map. But we'll get into this shortly. Now that Reginald has won back-to-back points, to tie things up 2 apiece. And it looks like we're, I believe, set to go here. MP start coming out. So it's going to be Rectagon into Kambing, Malashevsky, Badu, Zoomer, Red Pixel, Worst HR Player, and Enri. So we await the players. Load in. Hard Rock on Rectagon. That's bold. Hidden on Malashevsky, hidden on Zoomer, and on Enri. Nomad on Red Pixel, Worst HR Player, Badu, and Inder Kambing. I will await Rectagon's performance with interest because Hard Rock on this seems pretty scary. But fairly even early on, Rectagon and Red Pixel, the only ones to break in the intro, just a little trade. Does give the advantage to Pawn technically due to mod advantage, and there goes Malashevsky and Rectagon, there goes Zoomer and Red Pixel to trade. So we have into Kambing, Badu, Worst HR Player, and Enri. Those are the 2 players that we've most been watching on Pawn after last week's performances. And it looks like they just haven't lost a step in the week's time between these matches, as they are both still playing incredible mostly today. And it's double FC versus just Badu now, as Enri and Worst HR Player hold, and Kambing breaks. There goes Enri, though. Worst HR Player versus Badu. That's an exciting matchup. Rectagon kind of trying to build back up in the background. It's a very closely fought one so far, just 100k between the teams. Not a lot of combo on the backing players, but Worst HR Player and Badu holding comfortably enough on almost exactly even accuracy, 98.5, 98.6. The lead does go over to Reginald as Interkambing holding a little bit better than anyone else on the team. Pawn behind Worst HR Player, but it's FC versus FC. Those are the 2 players that are most important. Wow, okay. At the break, 1/3 through, it is a 400k lead for Reginald. Oh, Badu breaks on the stream, but so does Worst HR Player. And now it's just Rectagon versus Enri with the backing combo. Oh, man. Yep, that was unfortunate. If either one of those 2 in the center bottom could have held, you know, it would have given their team a massive advantage, but just not meant to be. Some slider breaks. Enri, 330 combo, the player to watch. The lead might just go on over there. It does. And Pawn at halfway mark, take a lead. And Enri with a huge combo advantage over anyone else in the lobby. Badu and Worst HR Player continuing to match each other. Not anymore. Worst HR Player with the break. That could matter. It doesn't matter yet, but it could matter. Enri, as long as he holds, Pawn will be all right. This is a really strong showing, especially with hidden on. The lead, though, goes over to Reginald once again. The better combo overall, despite what Enri is doing, and he breaks as well. And now you've got Malashevsky and Rectagon holding on against almost no combo for Pawn. Rectagon does break, but as long as Malashevsky holds, now it'll be not the worst. Worst HR Player, though, only a couple hundred combo behind. So he is looking out for any opportunity that he can get to try to bring this one back, but Malashevsky not interested in letting that happen. Into the stream here. Pretty simple for just about anyone not named Badu, but Zoomer falls off with hidden. That can be tricky. There goes Enri as well, though, so it kind of helps things out for Reginald. And Malashevsky, man, we knew coming into this, it'd be a huge battle between Malashevsky and Worst HR Player. Wow, Worst HR Player hit those slider jumps. All right, man, breaks afterward. And with a 2 million lead into the ending now, Reginald, I think, are in a safe spot. No combo on the side of Pawn. Not much that's very hittable in this ending. It is so ridiculously difficult. This is the diff spike of all diff spikes. And yeah, not really anybody hitting. Interkambing actually holding through this. Ooh, okay, not anymore. And that's going to be a break point. Reginald, they just had that little bit extra combo when it counted. Whether it was Badu, whether it was Malashevsky, whether it was Rectagon, whether it was even intercamming at the end there, helping things out. And that is going to be a break point. 3 points in a row for Reginald. They're starting to find their momentum, and that's a very scary thing to see if you're on the other side of the screen from them. Malashevsky and Badu both over the 8 million. Worst HR player, once again, putting up numbers just shy of 10 million, with Henry at 8 million as well. But unfortunately, those backing scores from Zoomer and Red Pixel not where they needed them to be compared to Rectagon and intercamming. And that is another point. Reginald will now have their next pick to try to take a 4-2 lead. Can they convert? Can they consolidate on the break point in the way that Pawn were not able to do so? Because it would be a huge benefit to them if they can pull it off. Man, 15 misses on worst HR player, dude. That's not normal. So where do you go next year now if you're Reginald? You Hard Rock 2, Hard Rock 1, you lose, you split them. Do we stay Hard Rock Pool? I don't know that any of the other Hard Rock's fuel is good. It's going to be DT1 who's ready for 1K PP in match. Kimi no Kyoku. Y'all know it, y'all love it. Finger control, speed, stamina. I am ready for 1K PP in match. I'm so excited to see this pick because there are, like, so many players in this match who are capable of playing this map and doing very well on it. Somebody want to check on how many players in this match have FC'd this map or at least have like a 900 on it? Bit of a shame that we don't have Matthew, but illuminated last week, so didn't get to see him on this map. I want to look at this map real quick, the leaderboards here. Oh, Henry set a score on this an hour ago. All right, man. 5 misses, but 1200 combo. All right, in we go. 1K PP in match time. Rectagon, intercamming, Malashevsky, and Ryuke. Takedo, Zoomer, Nikolabed, and Henry. So, you know, I mentioned earlier I was curious to see what would happen if Reginald picked something the worst HR player wasn't in for, and they have done that here. Question is, will it work out for them, or will it end up backfiring? Only time will tell. Pretty lengthy DT pick here, over 3 minutes. Early break coming out from Takedo to match the very beginning break from intercamming. There goes a Nikolabed next. There's so much combo in this early breaks, they're not going to be that big of a deal. When you're only 300 combo into a, what, 2K combo map, it's just not the end of the world. That's 2200 combo map. For UK, the first to break for Reginald that, you know, maybe might be consequential, but there go Takedo, Zoomer, and intercamming, so it is now just Henry against just Rectagon as there are breaks left, right, and center. So we've got kind of a 1v1, 2 players FCing, and Henry looking a little more comfortable accuracy-wise. But Rectagon holding on okay, too. Backing scores a little bit better for Pawn. Takedo up at 300, Rimuru at 250. It's a 4 million point lead, though. Reginald had a bit of advantage. There goes Rectagon, though. That's going to be huge. The FC gone, and Henry still holding. There goes intercamming as well. This is going to swing back over to the side of Pawn here in just a moment if Henry holds to that FC with the big backing scores from Takedo and Nikolabed. Malashevsky and Ryuke doing what they can, but they just don't have an FC in front of them that they're trying to back up. And Henry putting in the work. He and Taquito are going to make this lead grow pretty massively here through the middle third of the map. 8 million points and counting, with only Ryuke left holding on for Reginald to any sort of big combo. And he's gone too. There goes Taquito, but it's just Henry. That's just all that matters. Henry is the meaningful scorer. And Henry refuses to break. He's a 98, nearly 99 AC, still holding to an FC. Regardless of anything else happening anywhere in the map, 17 million point lead for Pawn. As long as Henry's holding on, they're going to be feeling like this is a break point right on back over. Oh, he breaks on the slider. So does his entire team. All right, well, now this could get a little bit more interesting. Rectagon holding as is Ryuke. It's still 16 million points, but those are a couple big combos on the side of Reginald. There's a lot of combo left, a lot of score left in this map. And Pawn is now starting to fall apart a little bit. They're fraying at the seams. Ryuke breaks, and now it is all in Rectagon, and I don't know if that's enough by himself to bring back 12 million points, even though there's really no combo on Pawn. With just the ending to come, it looks like this is going to be a break point right back. Nobody able to consolidate in this match. It's just break point, and then break point right back, break point, and then break point right back again. That is a really solid score from Rectagon, but he is going to be coming up short as Henry's near 40 mil carries the way for Pawn. 39.4. They win by 7 million. It gives you an idea of just how important that score from Henry was when you consider the rest of the team. 25, 14, and 14 million points for Rectagon, Malashevsky, and Ryuke respectively. So Henry needed every bit of that score. And he got it. We're tied up 3-3. Nobody wants to take and hold on to a lead. They just refuse. Look, 701 PP. Wow. That's pretty impressive. So what do you pick now? On maybe thinking about going back to some gimmick? To go like a Nomad 4? I want to see Hard Rock 5 really badly. I also want to see DT5. I'm very curious, like, what are the players, what are the teams kind of taking away from these picks? What are they learning from the outcomes of some of these performances? Are they adjusting pick strategy? It is going to be the Nomad 4. All right, so we're going to get Polkamania. Well, this is a worst HR player map. Also Taquito map. Also a Malashevsky map, though. And Rectagon, like, low-key really good at tech, so... Again, just a pick where there's going to be plenty of people in the lobby who I think will expect good things out of. Very difficult, like, start-stop slider key eyes. We got Taquito, Worst HR player, Zoomer, Henry. Kind of the squad, it feels like, for Pawn. Rectagon, Malashevsky, and a couple of others. We will find out who. Maybe Badu and... I don't actually know. We await. We await. Unless there's already somebody in the lobby and my client isn't showing. Okay, it is going to be intercambing. And away we go. Map number 7, tied up 3-3. Both teams have had break points, but neither team has been able to do anything with them. And this is a map where Worst HR player did very well last week. He was slightly outshone by Kriller on the other side, though Pawn ended up winning the point anyway. Zoomer and Rectagon going to trade a couple of early misses. And in we go. There's an early break from Taquito, another miss from Zoomer. You don't want to give up free combo on this type of map. You don't want to break in the intro. Very bad, because this gets hard quickly. Zoomer and Henry both having trouble. Worst HR player still holding, but it's a triple FC still for Reginald. As I mentioned, just not a team you want to overlook when it comes to tech. There's the break from Intercamming, but Rectagon Malashevsky still holding on, Badu with just the early miss. There goes Malashevsky, though, so it's Worst HR player versus the world. Wait a minute, he's the only one to hold through as Badu and Rectagon break on the same pattern. Worst HR player going to try to pair this lead on down, but he finds a break of his own. The carry performance of last week perhaps not going to be happening again here today as Reginald holds to the lead for now. Now it's just going to 230 combo, and Badu and Rectagon not far behind. Taquito doing well for himself, but the combo overall just better for Reginald, plus the lead already in place. Just the last quarter to come. Let's see who can make it through the build-up into the last very difficult breakdown section. Zoomer misses, Rectagon misses, so it's Badu, Malashevsky, Taquito, and Worst HR player, but Henry with the backing combo. There goes Taquito, so it's a 2 versus 2 on the map. Rectagon, Badu, Worst HR player, Henry, and a 3 million point lead for Reginald should most likely look to be enough. Another break point might just be coming their way. There were Rectagon, Badu, Worst HR player, Henry holding on for not very long, Malashevsky holding on longer. And that is going to be Reginald taking the break point. That's 3 now in a row. Nobody able to win their own picks here. Nobody knows what to pick that's most comfortable, I guess, as we go back to back to back with those break points. Malashevsky, S rank 98 AC. Worst HR player, S rank 98 AC. We're getting what we wanted out of these guys in terms of the ranks and the accuracy, but the slider breaks, unfortunately, kind of throwing a wrench into the gears of Team Pawn. Now, Reginald, once again, they have a 4-3 lead. Once again, will have a chance to convert, to consolidate on that break point. I don't know what's happening here. It just seems like they're not comfortable on their own picks for whatever reason. The level of competition is so high in this match that almost no map feels safe. Whoever picks it, it's like, yes, we think we're going to do well on this, but they're probably going to do well on this also. So every map just feels very contested, and, the coin has come down on the side of break points more often than you might expect it to, but you can kind of understand why. Now Reginald, again, in that spot of trying to figure out what to pick. The DT1 not working out for them. Hard Rock 2 earlier, not working out for them. So what's the pick here? Ooh, the pick is Fremont 3, so that is Apollo. And this is a map that Pawn played last week and won, though it was very contested. It was under 700,000 points total margin of victory. Worst HR player top scored, but 13 misses, 91 AC. Not necessarily his most comfortable map with how high BPM it is. The tapping requirement is definitely noteworthy in this map. And not any fun for mod players either. One of those maps that combines some aim and some tapping. You got some sliders. You got a lot. Kind of throws the kitchen sink at you. So if you're a player who's very well-rounded as well as being comfortable with the high BPM, this might be the one for you. But if not, you might have a pretty rough go of things. Reginald hoping for their sake that they do not have a rough go of things, because they would really like to get this consolidated break point to finally take that true lead in the match. Yes, they're up 4-3, but they need to win a pick of their own for it to be a meaningful lead. No way. Wait, Badu plays this? Badu plays this? I didn't know Badu played this. All right, well, Badu, Arnold, Intercamming, Malashevsky, Taquito, worst HR player, Henry, Zoomer. It feels like Pawn are just so set with that 4-man roster for a lot of these picks. Majora is just non-existent. They kind of swap only for certain picks with other players. But in we go. And again, this might be one where Reginald have a bit of an advantage just because they're a little more comfortable at high BPM stuff combined with the other aspects of this map. Malashevsky, one of the best in the world at this type of pick, as you can see here from how he's starting it off, but there are breaks coming in. Arnold and Intercamming that matches Henry and Zoomer with the early break. So Badu, Malashevsky against worst HR player and Taquito. There's a part of me that just cannot believe that Badu is in for this. Those kick sliders proving deadly. I guess the aim is what Badu is here for on this, and it's working out. His accuracy not the greatest, but nobody's accuracy is going to be the greatest by the time it's all over. Right now, it's Reginald with a small early lead. That backing combo for Intercamming helping things out, but it's a double FC against double FC. Those are two players you're going to need to watch. Badu, Malashevsky. Taquito breaks, so just worst HR player now. That's so huge for Reginald. They can take a big lead. There goes worst HR player as well. No FC's left just like that for Pawn. And meanwhile, Malashevsky still holding on, and Intercamming still on a big 600 backing combo with Arnold not that far behind. Taquito still holding, by the way. Bancho break for him. Henry at 99 AC, but has unfortunately broken. So Taquito and Henry plus Zoomer behind versus Malashevsky and Intercamming. And this lead is by no means safe. It's only about 1.5 million points. So it's got to be Malashevsky and Intercamming holding for their lives, because Zoomer and Henry are hot on their heels with Taquito leading the way on that FC. There goes Henry, and there goes Zoomer as well. That is so damaging, but Malashevsky breaks. Taquito follows it right up. There goes Intercamming as well, and now there's just no combo anywhere in the lobby. And that might be enough for Reginald to hold on, just clinging for dear life to this lead. It's only 800, 900,000 points, but when nobody has any combo, 800, 900,000 points is about all you need. And into the ending we go. Is that combo lead going to be enough? There's no combo anywhere on Pawn. I think Reginald might just be safe. I think we might be seeing our first converted, consolidated break point. Malashevsky holding through the ending, finally breaks in that last pattern, but he did enough. And man, oh man, once again, this map, one of the closest you'll see, 700,000 points for the second time in as many weeks. But that, in this case, is very key, because it's Reginald that are going to take the 5-3 advantage with the consolidated breakpoint. Badu on the D rank. Yeah, he just kind of stopped playing at some point, huh? Well, he did his job, because he still put up 5 million. He still put up the third best score on the team, and he outscored both Zoomer and Henry anyway. So, like, it actually doesn't matter. Those are just good scores from Malashevsky and Intercamming. They do the job. They get it done. And now things will change a little bit, because instead of being dead even on their picks for Pawn, They're going to be down that break point. Think. Oh. Well, I think Padu's okay. And we're gonna go DT5 as the next pick here from Team Pond. So Made of Fire does show up. Kind of expected this. It does feel maybe a little bit coin flippy by virtue of being 50 seconds long, but Worst HR player exists. This is a sort of map that I think he's capable of going off on. Looks like it might be a map that takes Malashevsky out of the lobby, which is interesting. Oh yeah, now I get the opportunity. Chocoment's Made of Fire HDDT 98.5% full combo. Without a doubt, one of the most impressive plays ever set in Osu history, but one that takes some experience to appreciate fully. In the 12 years that this map has been ranked, Chocoment's score remains the only DTFC, and there's much more to unpack about this score. While some maps easily convey how difficult they are through the raw aim or speed requirements, Made of Fire is much more nuanced than it may seem at first glance. To help illustrate just how difficult this play is, I would like to break down and analyze aspects of this map and the play itself. Right off the bat, we get a sense of the density of the notes and the reading difficulty associated. With DT applied, the map becomes around 243 BPM and approximately AR 9.67, a higher note density than most players are used to. Still, this should be manageable, but adding to the difficulty is the constant rhythm of and spacing of the patterns, which continues for the entire map. These would already pose a significant challenge to players' rhythm sense reading and finger control, but with hidden, the reading becomes much harder. This is all bread and butter to someone like Chocoment, who plays maps. Okay, in we go. All right, everybody's playing a different map, so we're gonna have to do a quick little restart. We've got Rike Arnold, Kevin Malashevsky, Taquito, worst HR player, Henry, and Zoomer. And yeah, it's just gonna be breaks left, right, and center, but worst HR player holding, Henry holding, Malashevsky holding as well. That two-man combo on Pawn, worst HR player and Henry doing work, but now it is worst HR player versus Malashevsky, the only two FCs reigning in the lobby. They actually leaving a little bit of something to be desired, but for now, the score lead in favor of Reginald. Malashevsky with a little bit of backing score helping him out, but it is a 1v1. There goes worst HR player. Malashevsky still holding on. How long can he go this lead now? 500,000 points just like that for Reginald. There is not much map left. He breaks, though. If he hits this, the rest of this into the ending after breaking where he just did, I'm going to be very, very sad. The lead goes on over to Pawn because of Taquito and worst HR player holding, Reginald holding, or excuse me, Henry holding as well, and that is going to be the point to Team Pawn. Reginald just not having the greatest of time in the ending, and the one miss from worst HR player, the S rank from Malashevsky. The S rank from Malashevsky, that's not an S rank map, but I mean, it's actually just Taquito having that big combo in the middle and into the ending. That was the really important part. And I don't know why these guys have 5 points all of a sudden. Malashevsky not pleased. But what's done is done. A very quick one. 350K. And it's like, it's an S rank, but it's on the losing side, and the score is low enough that it feels like it's almost irrelevant, you know, since the Pawn ended up winning the point anyway. Reginald gonna go quickly into the next pick. It's gonna be a free mod 1, 2 minutes long, 220 BPM. So again, you know, kind of picking something a little faster. Maybe hoping that this again takes worst HR player out and maybe makes some of the other players a little more uncomfortable. See who will be coming in. On keeping it close, you know, they go down the break point, it gets consolidated, but they keep it within just the 1 point by clutching out Made of Fire. That could have been 6-3 pretty easily, but instead 5-4. So still nothing free for Reginald. Another what feels like must win. Breakpoint here, of course, ties it back up at 5 apiece. We've got Rectagon, Arnold, Ryuke, and Malashevsky, Takedo, Rimuru, Zoomer, and Enri. Did Rectagon just miss the first note, or was that just client? That was just client. Okay, never mind. We're all good. Wow, many breaks early on. These cut streams are devilish, and they catch off pretty much everyone. Rimuru with 130 combo, the best of anyone in the lobby. But he is not so far ahead. Excuse me, Rectagon up there as well. So kind of a virtual 1v1 with the Kolobed and Rectagon. The accuracy lead going to... I can never decide whether to call him Rimuru or Kolobed. Anyway, there goes... Oh, it's a triple break for Reginald, and Rimuru still holding, as is Takedo, and that is bad news bears for Reginald, as Pon will now have a pretty sizable combo advantage. Will we see another break point here? Are we going to just go back to being tied up again this quickly? Reginald finally got the consolidated break point, but they might give it up just like this as Takedo is putting on a masterclass. There's a lot of combo on all of Reginald, though. They're ready to pounce if there are some breaks from Pon near the back half of this pick. All 4 players of Reginald holding. Zoomer a little bit behind, but it's that Takedo score that's key. That score is going to come down, though. The combo advantage overall looks to be to Reginald, and there is still a third of the map to go. Malashevsky as well, 98 act, best in the lobby, or just behind best in the lobby, behind Rimuru. Let's see, is the lead going to go their way before the hard part comes back in? Not quite, but they hold through the burst. Takedo goes, Enri goes, Arnold and Ryuke break as well, and now it's Rectagon and Malashevsky make that just Malashevsky, and he's up by 300 combo over Zoomer. It's going to be enough to take the lead back over. Is he going to hit the entire cut stream ending? Is he going to hit this entire ending? Surely he does not just do that to them. He just wants to do it with style, finally breaks, but he had held through more than long enough. And it's going to be a 3 million point lead just like that. Malashevsky, the legend himself, putting the team on his back in the last quarter of the map, and Reginald clutch out the held point, and they go to a 6-4 lead. Those cut streams are not normal to hit, and somehow Malashevsky just made his way through like it was nothing, with hidden no less. That was so important because it was that close to going back to 5-5, but instead Reginald managed to maintain their breakpoint lead to 6-4, 2 points away from the victory. But those 2 points are going to be hard fought. Pon is scratching and clawing for everything they can get in this match. Eventually, you start to run out of comfortable picks. We're getting through this pool. We've gotten 10 of the maps out of the way now, plus, of course, the 4 bans. So we're starting to dwindle just a little bit here. You've still got 4 Nomads at either end of that pool. Nomads 1 and 2, Nomads 7 and 8. Hard Rocks 3, 4, 5 all still available, so it feels almost inevitable that we'll see some more Hard Rock in this match. DTs 2 and 4 and Fremod 5 all remaining. I feel like Reginald maybe a DT2 angle at some point here, but Pon is going to be first. And I almost I don't want to say it, but I almost wouldn't be surprised if they went Nomad 7. I don't want to see that map. Nobody wants to see that map. There'll be 9 minutes out of our lives that we're never going to get back. But it doesn't seem like necessarily the worst option. Otherwise, you do have free mod 5. Obviously, you know, there's some more aim if you want to go Nomad 1. There's tapping if you want to go Nomad 2 for the raw stamina. And it's going to be the Nomad 2, so we are going to see just stamina, 220 BPM, 3.5 minutes, some incredibly long streams in this one. Loved Dokido stream map. And this feels like a pretty reasonable pick here for Pon. I believe this was picked into them last week. One Dance picked this, but Pon won it. This time Pon saying, we will take that for ourselves and we will make it our own. We've got some very good left-hand focused players on that side. But man, Reginald, no slouches when it comes to tapping mechanics either. Gotta think this one's gonna be very contested once again. It was a closely fought map last week. Ended up being a 5 million point victory, but some of those scores very similar. Henry at just shy of 15 million, beat out Karcher for top score in the lobby by 700k. Rimuru at about 10 million. Zoomer and Takedo at 8 and, well, just shy of 9 and just shy of 8, I guess, respectively. But this time, it's going to be Red Pixel coming in, so no Takedo, who was their last score. And we are going to get our first Sawada sighting. Speed and stamina player extraordinaire Sawada gonna come in for Reginald for the first time in this match. We'll see if he can prove to be the difference maker as they try to take a second break point and with it earn themselves a slew of match points. Pon now kind of on the brink here. If they give up another break point, they'd have a ways to claw back to try to just force a tiebreaker, let alone win this set. But they're gonna stake their claim, what could be their last pick of this tournament, on Nomad 2. They won it last week. The confidence is there. Not surprised to see them picking this. But I do think it's going to be a very closely fought battle. As Zoomer just refuses to load in. There he is. We should get probably a pause for everyone else as he loads in. And we're going to get to see a little solo performance from Zoomer for the first bit of combo. And eventually he will catch up to everyone else. And there we go. Now we have 8 players. All right. Rekyan, Sawada, Arnold, Malashevsky, Zoomer, Henry, Rimuru, and Red Pixel. You've got some very good stamina stream players in this lobby, but how good is their aim? Because the aim is going to play a factor in how this map ends up going. And there's breaks all over. It's just Red Pixel holding. Meanwhile, Malashevsky, Arnold, and Rectagon all make it through the intro. Now, this is a lengthy map. There's a ton of combos, so just being ahead at the beginning doesn't mean you're going to win it, but it does get you off on the right foot. It does start you off with a little bit of a lead, and you can see 3 million points already in favor of Reginald. Not what you want if you're a Pon fan, especially with another couple of breaks coming from Rimuru and Henry, but Sawada and Arnold both miss. So now it is Rectagon and Malashevsky, Red Pixel and Zoomer. And that's a couple hundred combo lead for everyone. And there goes Red Pixel. This is getting dangerous very fast as Malashevsky and Rectagon continue to hold. Rectagon, of course, one of the best stream stamina players in the game. This map feels tailor-made for him. And obviously, Malashevsky not too far behind. And Pon not having the greatest of time through the first half of the pick here. Look at the length of this stream, and look at Malashevsky and Rectagon just absolutely shredding. Henry and Rimuru both building combo back up through here, making it through this disgustingly long death stream as well. There goes Rectagon, the FC falls, but Rimuru, fortunately for Reginald, also breaks, and now it is Malashevsky breaking as well. Excuse me, missing that stream also. So now it's Henry as the only combo of note in the lobby, but he's got 14 million points to try to make up, and I just don't know how possible that is. Henry once again trying to carry his team on this pick, but the lead just might have gone too big too fast in favor of Reginald. Henry's still holding. There's many breaks in that section, but unfortunately, Malashevsky and Rectagon held as well. They're matching his combo between the two of them, and this lead is still 14 million points. There will be a diff spike at the ending. If Henry can hit it and the others miss it, maybe, just maybe, there's a world where something interesting could happen here. But he breaks on the aim, and that might just put this map to bed. That might be all it takes, as Rectagon and Malashevsky both held, and Malashevsky now with the 650 unanswered combo. Pawn in a bit of a spot of bother here. Malashevsky breaking, but it's really irrelevant at this point. There's no combo anywhere. And into the gigantic spacing we go, into the ending we go. It's a 15 million point lead for Reginald. Yeah, it may, you know, things could change just a little bit at the ending here, but you're not going to bring back that much score. And now we're just watching in awe of the players hitting these ridiculous space stream patterns and buzz sliders at the very end. It's a done deal. It's Reginald. They'll be taking a 7-4 lead. They'll have match points. 3 of them and a tiebreaker if necessary. On the back of what is a truly remarkable performance by both Rectagon and Malashevsky on this pick. 58 million points, their final score. 18 million, the margin of victory. And now Reginald on the cusp with a 1 miss from Rectagon. What? Excuse me? That was a 1 miss. I'm sorry? That was a 1 miss. I didn't even realize. Nah, man. With a 1 miss from Rectagon, I amend my previous statement. With a 1 miss 99.4 act from Rectagon, Reginald is on the cusp of reaching glory. The victory stand is so near. 1 point away. And it's going to be Hard Rock 4. Because we needed some more really long picks. It's going to be Hard Rock 4. The Reginald pick to try to close out this match, to try to close out this entire tournament. They have largely done what One Dance was unable to do last week, which is to take worst HR player kind of out of the equation. 3 mod 1, he's not in for. They win it by 3 million. No mod 2 pawn picks without worst HR player being in for. They lose it badly. You know, worst HR player, it was going to always be hard for him to live up to last week. Especially against a team like Reginald that has players that can match him. But that level has just dropped a little bit. Now Reginald in a good spot. Worst HR player is going to take over this match. Try to drag them back into it. Try to put on that carry show that he did last week. Gotta be soon. It's gotta be now. Reginald are 4.5 minutes away from closing this entire thing out. Just like that. What's really crazy, of course, there's 3 match points here for Reginald before a tiebreaker. And 2 of them are on their own pick. So that means Pawn needs 2 break points plus to win their own pick in between. And they have to win tiebreaker just to force a bracket reset. You know, that's what a super team like Reginald here can do to you, is just put you in a spot of bother. And in we go. Sudden Romance. Rust Bell pick from Reginald as they try to close the match out right here and right now on their own pick. The first match point, the first tournament point. But this one isn't going to come free. You've got players on Pawn who do not want to lose. And you've got breaks from Rectagon and Malashevsky right at the beginning. They've been the carries for Reginald on many a map. They're going to fall behind early as they break at the exact same point. Just going to give Pawn a bit of an early advantage. There's a miss from Taquito. But it's still a triple FC intact against the double FC from Reginald. Small early lead for Pawn, but you can build on it. Especially with another break there coming out of intercambing. Zoomer the next. So Milo Milkshake, worst HR player against Ryuke. Make that worst HR player against Ryuke. And Rectagon and Malashevsky building back up. There go Malashevsky and intercambing, though. So it's worst HR player versus Ryuke, but fortunately for Reginald, they've got Rectagon backing. He's building back up no longer. And there goes Ryuke. Okay, worst HR player time. Ladies and gentlemen, be on high alert. Because worst HR player is the last remaining FC on a map, and his team is now in the lead. And he has open skies in front of him. But it's a break! That feels like the sort of place he never would have broken on last week. This match just kind of maybe slightly getting the better of him, and the lead is going to drag quite likely back over to Reginald as Malashevsky builds back up to a 250 combo, and only one player over 100 combo for Pawn on Milo Milkshake. And that lead starts to go the wrong direction for Pawn, trying to extend this match outward. Third of the way through, and it's now 1,000,000 points for Reginald, and that's just going to continue to grow with Malashevsky, Rectagon, and Ryuke all on some pretty good combos. Into the big triangles. Lots of players break. Malashevsky and Rectagon both hit. All of Pawn reset. And there is a chance that may just be all she wrote for Team Pawn here in this Grand Finals match. It's not the way you want to see it end. There is still half of the map to go. But that's a 4-way reset. And that is a Rectagon and a Malashevsky, some of the front runners of all time in these tournaments. When they sniff any sort of advantage, they go after it hard, and they keep their combo through this section. It's a 4,000,000 point lead, and I just don't know that there's much that Pawn can do now. It needs to be a full reset from Reginald ASAP. It needs to be Pawn hitting the entire last third of the map, as that lead is 6,000,000 points. And I think the writing may just be on the wall here, as Malashevsky, Rectagon, and intercambing looking to bring this one home through this very slow, lengthy section. And that will probably do it. The breaks from Zoomer, worst HR player, Malashevsky, Rectagon holding on. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a brave fight. It has been a valiant fight. It has been a grand effort from Team Pawn. But for the second time in this tournament, Reginald is going to take them out. And this time, it's going to be for the final time. Reginald just seconds away from closing out the tournament in style, with a bit of fashion. A large victory, a near 1v4 from Malashevsky, would just bookend it quite nicely against worst HR players 1v4s last week. It's not going to quite happen. It's Rectagon, it's Malashevsky, it's the backing scores of Ryuke and intercambing, it's the rest of the team. And that is just a job done for Reginald. It's going to be another badge added to the collection of some players who are remarkably high achievers. Some of the greats of the modern era. And they add another one. It's Team Reginald by a score of 8-4. The victors of Hippo Cup 6. Well done to them. Congratulations on an extremely strong performance. They knew what they had to do. They saw what worst HR player was capable of last week. They saw what the team of Pawn was able to do on some of these picks. And they just came in and said, nope, we are simply better. Malashevsky and Rectagon putting up the tap couple of match cost performances. The rest of the team performing admirably as well. Worst HR player, Enri Taquito, all up there as well, but unfortunately it was just not meant to be for Team Pawn. As their run, as their attempt to take the tournament out of the loser's bracket is stymied, cut short. Pawn left us with some of the most amazing memories in this tournament. Last week's showing was pretty remarkable. Those plays from worst HR player were something to remember. And I guess we're gonna get Fall in the Dark. This is 9 minutes long. I don't know if I have enough to talk about to clear 9 entire minutes, but I will do my best. The Reginald, the victors: Rex Gumbadoo, Bashi, Reedcat, Ryuke Arnold, Intercamming, Malashevsky, and Sawada. Pawn in second place. That's Takedo, Chemotherapy, Enri, Majora, Milo, Milkshake, Red Pixel, Rimmer, Worst HR Player, and Zoomer as our second place finishers. And of course, not to forget One Dance in third. Wowie, Trail Mix, Swick, Nineric, Will Cookie, Kriller, Decaton, Mathy, and Karcher. I think, you know, nobody's surprised, right? We saw the signups and we knew that those were going to be the teams that I think everybody expected to be on the podium, or at least near it. You know, the team that Emmerich was on that doesn't have a name that you can actually pronounce in the English language. The other one maybe that would have been up there, but had to forfeit their losers semis match a couple weeks ago due to player availability issues. Would have really liked to see them on this pool, or would have at least liked to see Malashevsky against Emrek maybe on this pool. That would have been pretty cool. But unfortunately, it was just not meant to be. And, you know, I think one of the big stories of the tournament, of course, Team Spezzy lost in second round in the round of 16 in winners bracket, and then managed to make their way through 5 wins in the losers bracket to finish in fourth place. Probably one of the most impressive performances compared to expectations for a team in this entire tournament, and one of the few times we've seen an underdog, a Cinderella story like that in a very, very long while here in Hippo Cup. Takes us back to the days of Death Sentence and My Angel Jonah in Hippo Cup, what, 2 and 3? It's been a while. Yeah, that's gonna do it for another year of Hippo Cup. I don't know that we had quite the highlights to the level of last week's worst HR player performances in this grand final today, but we got some pretty crazy things. How does he write like that? How is it that shaky? What the heck? We got some pretty crazy performances out of Malashevsky, out of Rectagon, out of worst HR player as well, starting things off with that FC on map 1. So I think we've had some great grand finals in the past. This one maybe not quite at the top tier, but the player caliber certainly at the top tier. First time we've ever had this tournament open rank. So we bring in some of these just world-class OWC players, CPMC players, Corsace closed and open, you know, some guys you haven't seen in Hippo Cups previously. Let them have a crack at the tournament with some of the most outlandish pools in the entire scene. I think things went fairly well overall. Very difficult pools. We had some very cool performances. Shoutouts, of course, are due to a lot of people. Starting at the top, This stuff is 9 minutes long, so I'm just going to go through literally everyone. Starting at top, Digital Hypno, of course. Co-host Matt Pooler. He does the pools, I do everything else. But we wouldn't have Hippo Cup without Hippo. Once again, despite my issues with how long some of these maps are, ended up with some pretty cool stuff to watch. Hey, no advertising on stream. That's not allowed. Do I have any other commentators to thank? Woey and Cristal. I think the only other people that commentated at all in this tournament. Shout outs to Cristal for commentating matches that were too early for me to wake up for. The stuff that was like 11, 12, 13 UTC. Did a very good job there. And Rob streaming those matches. Shout outs to Rob. And then a whole bunch of referees. We had a whole bunch of referees doing a lot of work. I'm actually just going to go down the list. Where's my list? Hang on, I've got a list somewhere. So thank you to K, Shade, Pecora, Rob, Secret, Scotty, Caveman, Dino, Mech, Patrick, Pecora, and Emma, who all put in work. This is one of the more difficult tournaments to referee because you've got a couple of kind of unique rules. You've got group stage, which means a ton of matches, so they did a lot of work, and it's always a huge help to have referees who are willing to give up their entire weekends to Hippo Cup and nothing else. Hello? Okay. And other than that, you know, I don't know what else there is to say. You know, thank you to everyone for watching. It's always fun to have good viewership in these grand finals. People are very active. It's what we do this for. Why we stream, why we commentate, right? Want to give everybody a very enjoyable product to watch, and I hope we did that. So thank you to everyone who is here. Thank you to everyone who has been here throughout this entire tournament, cheering on their favorite teams, watching some pretty crazy performances from a multitude of incredibly talented players. The worst HR player experience has been kind of popping off on the old YouTube, so that was cool as well. Shout out to anybody who's here from that. If you're still here after now an hour and a half. And big congratulations, of course, once again, to Team Reginald. They're the victors. They're the champions. They made quite the run through this tournament. With, let's see, 6-0 over Humilde, 6-1 over the team that MREC was on, 7-0 over Cookie Nami, 7-3 over Pon in the winner's bracket, 8-3 over One Dance in the winner's final, and then 8-4 in the rematch against Pon here in the grand finals today. They were never really challenged, it felt like, other than maybe today in the first half of this match, which they ended up kind of running away with anyway. Proved themselves to just be the best team overall. You can make the comparison between how well Malashevsky and Worst HR Player performed in the tournament as a whole, but in the matches they actually played against each other, Reginald just got the better of Pon. Worst HR Player, had his performances on the day-to-day, but Reginald just the better team overall, and that was what ended up counting. Another cool story I didn't even mention, but all G8 bros coming in with basically 4 players. Oh, and now we lose our slot 1. Man. But yeah, all G8 bros coming in with 4 players. Pretty much only. They had 2 other people on the roster that didn't play at all. They got all the way to winners semifinals. ended up losing immediately in their first match in the losers bracket, but to get a few wins, both in group and in the regular bracket stage, very impressive stuff from them. But that's going to do it for another year of Hippo Cup. I hope everybody has enjoyed it. I've had a time. I'm not sure if it's a good time, an average time, a bad time. The late stages have been a good time for the most part. But the misery of Hippo Cup when your name is T1G and you do everything, y'all know what it's like. I don't know what the future has in store. I don't know what tournaments going forward will hold for me, but we'll find out. And slowly but surely coming into the ending here. 9 minutes of Fall in the Dark. Thank you to everybody who managed to stick around for this entire time. Still somehow like 400 of you. I don't know how. Congratulations for making it through this entire map. Congratulations to Reginald on their victory. On and one dance. Congratulations on the second and third places on the podium. Thank you for being here for another year of Hippo Cup. I've been this one guy. Thank you to everybody who's been involved. Thank you for watching. Congratulations. Until next time, I hope you have a great day. Goodbye for now from Hippo Cup, and we'll see ya.